Welcome back, everybody. My name is Darson Grantham. This is the Market Makers of Iowa Real Estate podcast. And on this podcast, our goal is to just let other agents, other lenders know what it looks like to work with good agents, what other agents are expecting of them. It's not to talk shit about other agents, and we try really hard not to do that. Sometimes it comes up of, this agent, not necessarily a name, but an agent isn't performing or is doing things we wouldn't expect. But in this episode, we have Chris Chiaramonte on. Hopefully I said that right. And he kind of gives us an idea of how he started 12, 13 years ago, where he kind of came from in a lead source atmosphere to where he's at now, how he got 45,000 followers on TikTok. There's a secret sauce to that.
Is there? Yes, there is.
And he kind of just opens the beans on, how someone should track their numbers and how they shouldn't. And we kind of dig into that. So without further ado, let's jump into the episode. Chris, welcome to the show. I appreciate you jumping on here. You don't have anything better to do on a nice fall sunny day, right?
No, I don't. The weather's changed out there. It's pretty horrible
now. It's kind of cold. It's horrible. Easy now.
It's getting horrible. For November, it feels horrible.
I did bust out the stocking hat.
There you go.
Bust out the stocking hat.
Yeah, it was like 60 a few days ago. Now it's 30. So.
Yeah. Stocking hat feels, it's comforting though.
Yeah.
I wear one all winter long.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
It's back.
Anywho, you've been an agent for a while. I met you, I guess I first saw you on TikTok. So
yeah. I
knew you before you knew me.
Okay.
And I didn't really know you because you did a lot of funny stuff on there. And
I probably knew you before, the same
No
way
because
of YouTube. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then we're slightly even.
Yeah.
Slightly
for
even.
Sure.
But yeah, tell me how long you've been an agent, and then where did you start, and kind of where's your business at right now, just structure wise and size?
I've been an agent for roughly 13 years. Coldwell Banker, started there for I think about 3 years, and then switched over to Century 21 for the last around 10 years.
Cool.
So really like where I'm at, and the business has certainly changed over time, but it's going as well as I could have expected it to at this point.
I'm gonna dig deeper on that change.
Okay.
What's that mean? What is it? What has changed? Because I'm still I started in 2020. I'm the dumb newbie that I just know up, right? That's all I know.
And oddly enough, I'm kind of the same way. I mean, I came in, it was 2012, I think, and things were just starting to go up, and they really have never come down since then. So in terms of market, I don't know that I've experienced a real bad down market, but my business has certainly changed over time for various reasons.
How did it start, and how is it now?
It started a lot more cold leadish, I guess. Yeah. And Zillow, a lot of that stuff.
Buying Zillow, or was it? Do you have to buy it back then?
Yeah, I mean, it was felt free compared to now,
right?
But you're buying top, 3 spots in a zip code for $200 or $300.
Yeah.
Where it's 4,000 now, but so just shifting that over time from building up that base of essentially, I mean, I had other people in my sphere as well, but it was a lot of Zillow people.
Did you grow up in Des Moines Metro?
I did, yeah, which is always helpful.
Very helpful, but it's still weird talking to when you first start out talking to the friends and family,
And I was 24, so it's some of those people are buying, and anyone who's older than me, I feel like why would they ever put trust in me?
Right.
Yeah. So, but I kind of shifted away from that model as time went on for, money reasons, and I just feel like where I'm at now is a better way to do it for me.
I would imagine you, and correct me if I'm wrong, you probably, as you build the cold lead source up, or you do that, you start nurturing your past clients, and then the referrals, and then it starts coming more natural. So you're able to stop paying that source, and your income doesn't really go down.
That's exactly
might not go
right.
up as much, with the Zillow leads, but it can level out
for sure. Yep.
I wondered. So do you think that works the same way as buying Zillow leads versus your open houses and cold calls in that first 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, and I was doing a lot of that too, with especially open houses where I should be doing open houses now, but I just don't. I don't need to necessarily, but I know that if I did them, it'd probably be really good for my business.
I'm the same way. It's why I've the starting a team thing is so appealing to me.
Yeah, and if it wasn't Sundays, that's the day. I like my Sundays now, and to go back to doing those every week, and usually 1 to 4, and then you got an hour on one end and another half hour on the other end. It ends up being most of your Sunday. So, what was your question? Why are we talking about open houses?
Just the cold lead source going into the it's easy to, whether it's Zillow cold leads or if it's open houses or cold calls. At some point, agents kind of like build their block of business.
Yes, for sure.
And then it kind of is, if you're treating your clients well, you just start.
I think it's all lumped together. And that's what I was saying. I used to do them a lot, and different cold lead sources. I probably had 10 cold lead sources those first 3 years to build that base. And naturally, it's just been that repeat and referral since then.
And that snowball. Yeah. Cool. So when you are doing deals, one of my notorious questions is, how do you know the realtor that you're going to be doing a deal with that you're going it's going to go well? And how do you know oh man, this is not going to go well?
For me, if somebody won't text me, it doesn't go super well.
They just want to call you?
Yeah.
And you're like, no.
So I'm fine talking on the phone, but we also don't necessarily need to talk on the phone for every little minute detail. Obviously, if something's blowing up, you want to get on the phone, but that would be one thing. Just the communication aspect. I know that's, we talked about this ahead of time.
I like the they have to be able to text. I've had another realtor on here that's like, I want to call. I want people to call. And I was like, that's so perfect.
Oh, that's funny.
It's the example of it takes all kinds and you can be successful both ways. But I would argue you both are right. You just have to know when you should call and when you should text.
And that's how I feel. Yeah. Yes. I can't, I struggle to do well with the realtor that if I text them something small that doesn't matter, that I get a phone call back right away every time. Yeah.
Just answer.
Yes.
My pet peeve is when they keep texting me and I'm like, my admin's doing all of this. We have an email. She knows all these answers. Stop texting me.
Yeah.
And they argument. Well, you're the realtor. You get paid for this.
Well, yeah, you do.
Okay. I'll deal with it. I'll screenshot it, send it to my admin, and she will text you back.
What kind of stuff does she do that people are trying to get a hold of you for?
Key pickups, closings.
Okay.
What are we doing with the keys? I
I
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. It's one of my biggest pet peeves at closing is trying to figure out how the keys are getting transferred. I wish there was one way that was always done.
Yeah.
And it's not.
No, that makes sense.
But
I wish I had someone who did that for me because it is annoying every single time.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Grateful for the closings.
For sure.
But
yeah. Yes. No, I agree with you there.
Okay, cool. What about lenders wise? What's your trigger to know this is going to be a good transaction if you don't already know the lender?
It's again with communication. I think several years ago, I don't know if there was 1 or 2 lenders around the area that shifted to the model of the weekly updates. Mm-hmm. And I think that's been really good. The ones that have switched to that tend to be more on top of it, more responsive. And if you don't get those updates and you get that radio silence for extended period of time, the transactions usually aren't as smooth.
Yeah, well, it's not. Sometimes they aren't. You just don't know.
It's and sometimes
unknown.
They're totally fine. But
right.
The ones that blow up are usually the ones that you don't hear from for 3 weeks, and all of a sudden you got a big issue.
Yeah, I've also seen it where they send them out weekly and they're wrong. And I'm like, that's
not good. That's
not right. Did you check that?
Right.
So I'm like, gosh.
Yeah, if you're doing the weekly communication, you want it to be right, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
Too funny. Cool. Let's see here. Realtors. What else are we talking about? Man, we just hatched out a bunch of crap there.
Sorry to be fast.
That's good. I love it. Do you ever do the DISC profile, the personality assessment stuff? Are you high D?
Wait, I've done a lot of personality stuff. What's the DISC profile?
The DISC is you have your dominant, you have your I call them cheerleader. The I is literally the cheerleader. They're the light. They light up the room.
Yep.
Then you have your C is your compliance, or they want all the details, and your S is your I call them the nurses because they care.
I would be more a D, I think.
Yeah. So that's 2 Ds talking together. You get shit done really quick.
Yeah.
And it's just
let's go.
This is done. This is it. Yep. This is how it is. There's no, not beating around the bush.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, lead sources in your business now versus stuff that's going really well and stuff that you're trying out right now, but it's not working.
Yeah.
Share as much or as little. I'm a huge abundance. I'm just going to tell you, I have an abundance personality.
Yeah.
So I don't think that anything should be a secret. But
no,
if you
I don't
want to share something,
have any secrets at all. I'm the ruminating you see is just me trying to come up with what I'm doing right now. Honestly, obviously the SOI, the basic past client nurturing is a big thing, and you would think that I'd have that down really well now, but truly it's been 2 to 3 years that I've done it decently consistently. Yeah. So still trying to work on and adding things and client events. We've talked about that before. So I want to start adding pieces that I know I'm missing. Yeah. So I don't have a ton of cold lead sources anymore that I'm actively paying for. Yeah. I'm sure if things do shift in this market and pending sales are lower next year or something, I'll throw a Hail Mary out there to try to get some business drummed up for
like running ads, paying for Zillow type thing.
All that. I don't know that I'll go back to Zillow, but I do some every once in a while if I feel it's more boredom than anything. I love
the truth. I appreciate the truth.
It really is. I love this business. I think that it's great. I just go through periods where I'm like, I just want to do some other things. And so I'll just throw some stuff out there to have fun, I guess, is the easiest way to put it.
I love it.
Yeah.
When you were doing the SOI consistently, why did you stop? What stopped you?
SOI consistently?
Yeah, like your database. Like you said 2 or 3 years ago you were doing it. It's been that long since you were doing it like fairly consistent.
So before that, I was more... I guess the easiest way to put it is very transactionally focused, where I'd get a deal done and I'd kind of move on to the next. And a lot of those people who I've had over those last 10 years, they were there and they probably had people they would refer me to, but I just wasn't top of mind for them.
Top of mind.
And I wasn't losing, a ton of potential business. I don't think I probably lost some, but it just wasn't. It's so easy to do, and I just wasn't doing it because I was just on to the next.
That's my first 3 years.
Yeah. For sure. That was my first 10. Yeah. So
sorry.
That's all right. I'm happy where I'm at now, and I've learned a ton from doing both ways for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super. I just I love my database. I love my past clients, but I love the hunt.
Exactly.
So
yes,
much.
I did, and that was what was so fun about Zillow is just being able to like convert someone who you've met literally 10 minutes ago was so much fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. It's just the database is so much more lucrative.
Yeah, it is. It makes way more sense. So much more sense.
Do you track where your leads come from right now? Do you know what percentage of them are like past clients versus just database that they know you, but you haven't done a deal with, or is it? What's that look like?
I thought about just making something up, but no, I don't. I don't track anything. Yeah.
You don't track anything.
I don't track. I shouldn't say anything. I don't track that specifically.
Okay.
I don't really track my numbers all that much. Maybe anything's the right word, which is going to be embarrassing.
I love it
for people to hear, but I don't do a lot of it. Again, I know I have holes in my business. I know I have ways that I can improve, and I will continue being in this business and trying to improve those ways.
What I don't think we got into this. What volume do you do? Like what are we looking at?
Last year's 12 million. This year's going to be just shy of that, I think.
Yeah, so that's good business for not tracking anything.
Yeah. Well, what should I be tracking?
I don't know.
No, really. I'd love to know. Give me 2 things.
What should you be tracking?
Yeah.
I would argue so things I don't track are like appointment set, conversations. I don't set it. I don't track any of those. Yeah. Where leads come from, I know exactly where they come from.
Okay.
And then like just tagging what that lead is looking for. If they're not ready, then they're investor, they're this neighborhood, that neighborhood. I do Zoom. My buyer appointments are all Zoom. Okay. And I record those. Yep. And so I have them recorded. So anyone that I've had a buyer consult with has a recorded presentation.
That's cool.
And so then there's an app called Read AI, but that then translate that into action items. So like I know what to do after each of them.
That's sweet.
So if it's Zoom, and it's because I work with a lot of out-of-state investors, so that Zoom is much more common for me than a person
that makes sense
in person.
Yeah.
But anyway, the tracking, where the lead come from, like that's numero uno. If you know that in the database, it's easy to put database, but it's more like what area in the database.
Yeah.
Is it my kid's daycare? Is it my wife? Like my wife is one of my best referral sources. Like she has a big database of people, and she'll post that I'm a realtor, and like inevitably we'll get something done in the next 6 weeks.
Wow.
Or 6 months. She
that's
just knows
awesome.
a lot of people, and they're like, oh, your husband does this, and we have an acreage, so a lot of our friends and family like acreages, so that's kind of but anyway.
No, that's cool. I know I did that a couple years ago. I sat down at the end of the year and I went through and listed everything out, but I don't actively track that every year.
That'd be the biggest.
I'll take that away and go do that right after I leave here.
No. Well, it's end of year, so it'd be perfect timing for it.
Yeah, for sure.
What CRM, what database style stuff do you do, or what systems do you use?
I've been a little all over the place with systems, but in the last year or so, I've used Monday.com.
Yeah.
Which has been really good. It's very versatile, and I like that about it.
Yep. That's like a Trello or a, not quite like Slack, but it's.
Yeah, it's like a combination of those plus a contact management system.
Yeah.
And my wife has been adminning for me, I guess, for the last couple years, and we're able to communicate really well on there with, you can see a trail of notes for every single client and that sort of thing. So I've really liked that.
There's not too many agents, so I use Monday for some of my admins, like content creation. I don't do it for a database, but I've seen it and I've thought about building it out for my sales lead source. It can get really creative.
Yeah, it can, for sure. What do you use right now?
Command at Keller Williams.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Keller,
okay. They have their own. That's right.
Yep. Internal. It's gotten a lot better. It started out terrible.
Rough?
Everyone hated it.
Yeah.
And I came from a software world that started like I don't know 3-4 years prior to being a realtor, that they were building out software, and so I saw technology suck and then get better as they put money into it. And so when I started at Keller, the command sucked, and everyone hated it. And I was like, it'll get better. Like as long as Gary is putting money into it, like he says he is, it will get better. And now it's really arguably really good. It has some quirks, but
was that their own organic thing that they made?
He built it out.
Okay. Yeah. Like inevitably, it's going to have problems then.
He got pissed that every CRM could be bought by.
Well, and that's what happened to us. We switched to Contactually for it was a couple years. I had everything built there, and then Compass or whatever just bought it. And
well, just like Zillow bought Loop.
Right.
And so Zillow now has all your clients' information, which is creepy as shit. And so Keller, immediately Gary's like, we're going to DocuSign. So he switched to everybody, and it's not as good as Loop. Yeah. But we make do.
Yeah. I've had both, and I do like Loop better, but I understand why, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, hurdles in your business. What's sucking? What are you trying to fix?
Well, we've talked about some of those, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't know. I go in waves of motivation, honestly, and I don't know how to explain that other than if things are going well, I tend to, I don't know. I really can't articulate it, but it's this thing where I like months at a time, I'll be head down in the business, and then all of a sudden, I don't know if it's, burnout or whatever you want to call it, but I need like a break.
Yeah.
And I want to go through a full year where I don't need a break and see what happens.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm taking vacations all the time. It's just like needing a mental break for almost like a week at a time.
Yeah.
And I'll work because there's always stuff going on, but you're not, the difference between working and actually working.
Yeah. Yep.
So I would love to find myself engaged for a full 12 months.
Yeah. Do you guys do family vacations or
we do. We took probably 2-3 day vacations last year. So nothing crazy, but yeah.
How many kids?
2 kids.
2 kids?
7
Okay.
and 5. So
Awesome.
I don't understand how you do it over there.
My wife's a saint. My wife's a saint.
Yeah. Yeah. Does she work at all?
Nah, I mean, she works harder than I do.
Well, yes. Sorry, let me rephrase because I agree. My wife's the same. Does she have a job that pays her money?
So she is a birthing nurse for home birth midwives.
Okay.
So like she's currently pregnant, so she's not doing this right now. But when she's not and she's able to, she'll do that, and she'll basically, just be on call for 2 weeks every month.
Yeah.
And it doesn't pay diddly squat, but she loves it.
Yeah, no, that's sweet. When's she due?
June. So it's not a while, but she gets super sick. So she's been literally bedridden for 5 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
So we
got a long way to go too.
Have to have a nanny there.
Oh man.
I'm solo dad in the morning and the evening. Yes.
Oh, that's rough.
She reminds me. I did this to her, but that's okay. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. She's getting better. So it usually lasts until like 13 weeks.
Okay.
And so we're on the verge of she'll be fine. She'll be fine.
Yeah. I don't know how you do it though. With the 2, with involved in softball and all the stuff, it's also, I feel guilty about abandoning the business is the wrong term, but I just went in waves last year where it was like all my energy was on these other things.
You coaching?
Yeah, I was coaching.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, assistant coaching, but yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
I think that there's like the ability that realtors have to, you own your own business, to know that this is a point in life that I can go do this and the business will be fine. It'll stabilize. It doesn't need to grow. It's not going to get crazy.
Yeah.
But I can stabilize and I can go do coaching for my kids. Because you can only do it like once you get to high school, unless you're like a badass coach, like you're not going to coach.
No, for sure. Yep.
And so there's a few years there that like you could be the coach. You're going to take them. You're going to take them to practice anyway. You might as well be there coaching and
that's how I felt
having
about it.
Having an opinion.
Yes, for sure. I feel guilty when I see people like, even like yourself, where you're doing all these other things. You got how many kids? And 4 and 1 on the way. Where I see people doing all these things that I feel like I should be doing, and I just don't. So
dude, don't feel guilty.
I don't know. Maybe guilty is not the right word, but like I feel like I'm underperforming, or I could be.
More. Yeah,
I could be a $20 million producer if I just focused on my business, sort of thing. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. My argument is like you can take like what you put in, you have to take away somewhere else.
Right.
Right. I'm gone 9 to 5 or 8 to 5, like every single day. And my wife knows it. And if she tells me to go pick up groceries while I'm in town, I'm like, honey, this sounds bad, but do you know what my hourly wage is if you actually calculate it? And she's like, no. And I was like, you don't want to know. And like, I'll go get groceries, but please don't make me do that like randomly.
Yeah.
At least put it in my schedule. Because I just I have shit going on.
Yep.
But I don't know. Do you ever listen to Gary Vaynerchuk?
Oh yeah.
So
let me rephrase. I went in a phase where I listened to him for like 3 years, and then a lot of it started getting a little repetitive, and so I haven't listened to him.
Still repetitive.
Probably still repetitive.
He'll admit it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. He's fantastic.
But he always says he's like, parenting, you can do it in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And you can run your business so many different ways. And so you could be the Elon Musk and doing crazy things, but like there's another piece of your life that has to have a problem of some capacity.
Yeah.
Right. So you can't do it all.
No.
And you shouldn't judge someone that you think that they do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or vice versa.
It's my own personal inadequacies. That's what therapy's for, right?
Yes. Speaking of, but not really. Real estate coach. Do you need coaching?
I did for a while. I don't currently. I had a Tom Ferry coach for 2 years or something like that.
Yep. What did you like and hate about that?
There was a lot to like about it, for sure. I mean, the accountability of I know I'm going to have to call somebody every week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mesh with certain personalities, I guess.
Yeah.
And the person I had was just one of those personalities I didn't super mesh with. And
did you get to pick a new one, or did you just deal with it for a while?
I dealt with it for a long time, and I just eventually just gave up.
Yeah. Yep.
It was, yeah, it was just a different style and approach to business than what I had.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I know there are great coaches out there,
Yeah.
and I should probably dive back in at some point, but just haven't.
Yeah. No, I love it. Yeah.
Do you have one right now?
Yeah, I have two.
Two? Man. If there's something to be done, you just do it as far and as wide as you can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. The reason, like, there's one is more lifestyle team building, and the other is more strategic marketing for an agent.
Okay.
And like the strategic marketing for the agent, his name's Patrick Ferry. He's fantastic. He's not grown a team, so I was like, I can't really ask team growing stuff from him. But like, if I want an idea of marketing for a certain thing, like he has this huge document. You just click on, watch the video. Here's the download, like unlimited things to do. Yeah. And so I'm like, okay. And he's very innovative in thinking on that. And the other guy, he's built a team and runs it virtually. And I'm like, let's go
runs
that way.
Runs it virtually?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he lives in Florida and runs a Wisconsin team.
Wow.
His name's Neil Mathwig.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't imagine doing that.
Yeah, I wouldn't like it personally. Like it wouldn't be my cup. It wouldn't be my cup of tea. But yeah, that's innate. Yeah. So
you've had them for a while now.
The Patrick Ferry. Yeah, since almost. I mean, 4 years.
Almost since you started.
Since I started.
Yeah.
I just fully believe in the coaching stuff.
Yeah.
I study things a lot and I watch YouTube, but I get distracted of like focused. I'm like, I could do this and I could do that and I could do that. And so the coaches help me like, hey, this is what you said. This is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And even them, like, they're not perfectly accountable. They're still like, forget things. I'm like, yeah, I'm supposed to do that. And they never mention it. I'm like, yes, that's not what I'm supposed to think.
Right. I'm the same way with chasing stuff. I don't know if chasing is the right word, but just seeing different stuff. And
oh my gosh,
I do need someone to hold me accountable to execute
the 12-week year, like the book. Have you read that?
Yes,
like,
I have.
I love the concept.
Yep.
I've yet to get through 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I've tried it so many times. Like, oh, it's a new quarter. Let me try it again.
Yep. Yeah. So no, I appreciate the coaching aspect for sure. I probably should jump back in at some point.
Just tell yourself you're going to interview 10.
Yeah. 10.
They'll all take your call because they're going to try to sell you.
Yeah.
Right. And say, I want to interview 10 and just see what they say.
How many coaching companies are there?
So many.
Only ones I know of are the two.
Yeah. Tom Ferry. You have
Buffini is the other one that a lot of people in my company use.
I mean, oh my gosh, just get on Instagram. Goodness gracious.
I'm sure I've seen them in ads.
You would know
stuff. Yeah, for sure.
So many. Now you put me on the spot. I'm trying to think of all of them. Well, you got Mike Ferry is old school.
Yeah.
Keller has theirs. Obviously, you're not a Keller agent. I don't know if you could do that anyway, but they have one which would be probably resemble more your Mike Feeney or Mike Ferry.
Yeah.
But okay.
A lot of them out there.
Yes. Next question. TikTok. You kind of popped off and went crazy. Got super big, pretty big on there for Des Moines.
Yeah. It was fun for a minute.
Yeah. Tell me about why it started, how it started, and where's that now?
It started out of honestly listening to Gary Vee. I think I was going through a phase and he just said to start putting stuff out there. Quantity over quality, I guess. So that's what I did. It was right after COVID happened, and so I feel like I had more time at home, or more thoughts to generate different stuff. So I put out I think it was 150 videos in a year on TikTok, roughly, little stupid skits and sometimes educational, and it went from 0 to 45,000 followers, and I attribute that mostly to being. I feel like I was one of the first real estate agents on there.
Yeah.
And now, if I was starting from 0 now, I mean, I would not have nearly the growth that I did 4 years ago. It's just so much. There's so many more creators now.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Yeah.
For a while, and I mean, I'm still doing stuff, but I got to hit a little bit of a wall of burnout of just like writing scripts and editing and. I know if I was you would say I should hire it out. I should get an editor. Why are you editing your own stuff? That's just silly.
Yeah.
And you're right, but I haven't done that, and It's probably something I'm going to think about for next year, though, because I'd love to fire those back up again. I really enjoy creating them. It's just when you get into the heart of the selling season, it was hard for me to do all that, edit a video for 3 hours and still be able to do stuff.
Because you did some pretty elaborate videos talking back and forth to yourself with the different costume or whatever. So you're scripting it out.
Yes.
So one video you think took typically 3 hours?
Yeah, from start to finish, probably. Yeah. I mean, and sometimes not that long and sometimes a little bit longer. Right. But yeah, that's probably close to the average.
What you can account for.
Yeah.
Interesting. And did you like that creative process? Was that,
yeah, for sure. I liked it a lot. And I was also watching, I don't really get on TikTok much anymore. In 2020, I was on TikTok a lot and I was getting ideas from watching TikTok. Yep. So I think that's probably needs to be part of my creative process again, even though I don't really want to go numb my mind with watching a bunch of TikTok videos.
Right.
But yeah, it is helpful.
Can you download those? Like, can you pull them down into their own document?
Yeah, I think so.
Could you upload them to YouTube Reels?
Yeah, probably. YouTube, like Shorts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, Shorts.
I'm sorry. I think
my language is I don't know social that well.
I believe so. I don't know why you couldn't, because it's still the vertical format,
I bet it
right?
is.
Yeah.
Most of them were under 60 seconds?
A lot of them were, and then as TikTok gave the ability to go bigger, I did some that were longer.
Did you do some longer?
That,
did you do any 10-minute ones, like long ones?
I had one that was maybe 5, but I just, the attention span's so low that I don't feel like those are super helpful.
I have no idea.
Yeah. What do you do on YouTube?
So
you do long. I remember watching a lot of not a lot, but some of your long form videos.
Yeah, neighborhood tours. Pros and cons. Living in Des Moines is the channel.
Yeah,
don't tell anybody, and no realtors go there. Not because I don't want you to watch me, but it'll kill the algorithm.
Will it really?
Yeah, because So I don't tell anybody about this channel, and people that are moving to Des Moines, when you Google search moving to Des Moines, that's
where I saw you. Yeah,
Google just knows that they need to see my channel.
Right.
And Google does them. I don't. Right. I don't advertise for it. I don't do anything.
But why would realtors going and
because then Google's like, why is someone local in Des Moines looking at this channel?
I see. Okay.
So then they'll get confused and they won't feed it to the right people.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah. Fortunately, not that many people listen to the podcast, so we won't. We shouldn't have that. We shouldn't have that problem.
That's funny. But how long have you been doing those for?
21. I started.
Okay. Are you pretty consistent with it?
Nope.
Very inconsistent with it.
First 2 or 3 years I was.
Okay.
This year I've done 3 videos. But they were really, because I knew what was a good video now, I was like, these are going to be 3 really good videos. Yeah. So that's what I did. It's 3 pros and cons, cost of living, and then why Des Moines, or I can't remember the other one. But they did really well, to be honest.
For sure. I had a big idea after I watched some of yours that I was going to do. I had this whole layout of YouTube videos I was going to create, and then just...
It's a bit
into the void, and I didn't do any of it.
You could still do it, and I'd highly recommend it. There's only about 3 of us that do videos in Des Moines, and I mean, there's plenty of people that are moving to Des Moines that are not using any three of us. And I'm every time I hear someone else at Keller, someone's moving to Des Moines, and I'm helping them out. I'm like, dang it, that was mine.
Could have been you.
But it's pretty. I don't want to say canned, but you can look at other channels and see these are the 20 videos that I should do.
Yeah.
And what's cool is I'm not a video editor, super fancy guy. And so it's fine to have just a boring cell phone video.
Are you doing most of it yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The editing, I was hiring someone. Now I'm doing it myself.
Okay.
I wish I had time to do more.
Yeah.
And then I would have a full-time editor again. Yeah. There for a while I did, and it's just not.
Didn't have enough work for him.
Yeah, I didn't take the time away from the transactions to do it. I really like the idea. And it's work. So I close anywhere from 8 to 12 transactions a year from it.
That's crazy.
And so
that's a high number.
And they're my favorite clients.
Yeah.
To be honest, they are. Not that I'm selling everybody on this idea, but I am. They're researchers at heart, so they already know all the answers
for sure
to most everything, and so it isn't like I have to babysit them through the transaction.
For sure, I have had a few leads from TikTok, and they
same way.
I loved the people that I worked with that found me from TikTok. Yeah. Cool.
What else? What do you like most about being a realtor?
what do I like most about being a realtor? I mean, everyone says the flexibility, right? Even though it's not.
You don't believe it?
I do believe it. I think. I mean, yeah, there's times where it's not at all flexible, but
like zero flexibility.
there are certainly times where it's not. I feel like I went from the first 3 to 4 years where I had no flexibility, where I was running around cold leads, letting everybody control me, and now I'm at a place where it's a little bit more, I have a little more control.
Yes.
And it feels like the flexibility is there more. I have my nights and weekends for the most part. I still show houses on the weekends sometimes, and that's just how it is, but it was every night and every weekend for a while there, and it's just not like that anymore. So
yeah,
part of that is obviously the model shift. Being in the business for a while now, I have a lot more listings than I have buyers, it feels like. But I do feel like it's somewhat flexible.
Yeah.
It's more flexible than a lot of jobs.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
You're your boss, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So that's probably the biggest
flexibility.
thing. Yeah.
What do you hate about it?
Oh, what do I hate about it? I mean, the opposite of that, when people are controlling your time and demanding.
You
yes.
have to do the walkthrough on this day at this time.
Yeah.
Like, no, I do not.
Yeah. I mean, when it's Thursday night and you have your plans laid out for the next day and somebody wants to see something at 9 a.m. the next morning, you got to shuffle things around.
Have you had any success just having another agent do the showing?
I haven't done a lot of that. Unless if I physically can't, I'm out of town or whatever, obviously I'd pay somebody to do it, but
right.
I don't do a lot of that.
That's
you do a lot of that?
A lot.
You just pay other agents?
Mm-hmm. $35 to $50 depending on where it's at.
And you don't feel like you sacrifice your
client situation? Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit?
Probably a little bit.
Okay.
Not that I'm giving them poorer service. They just might feel like it's not as good a service. But typically those are ones that are like, they call me and they need it scheduled the next day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, listen, I run a full-time business. I don't have the ability to just jump and do that. Mm-hmm. Even if sometimes I do, I'm like, no, this is the time I plan to do X, Y, Z. Yes, I could cancel it, but they've seen 5 houses. They can let a good, I vet the agents that I send out. It's not just every, Tom, Dick, and Harry. And literally, look at that. It's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, that's been something that's great. Like opens me up on, I don't know. I've probably had 3 clients over the years that got kind of mad and they're like, oh, I thought you were going to show us houses. And I'm like, I will, but like it has to fit in my schedule.
Right.
I'm here for you. I'm going to look at that. If you put under contract, I will see it.
Right. And
without question.
For sure. That's my fear, is just people being upset and not feeling like I'm working for them, I guess.
Yeah.
Cause I do like to go through, when we go through, I'll point out everything that's bad about the house, and I can't expect any fill-in agent is going to run their business the same way as me.
I don't have one. I've seen an agent in our office who gives the showing agent a checklist.
Okay.
And says, follow this checklist.
Yeah.
In order to show houses for me, you have to follow this checklist.
Interesting.
And like that works. I'm not that demanding.
Yeah.
But I really like that if I thought there was some concern.
Yeah.
But the agents that I send, like they do anywhere from $4 to $6 million of business anyway. Yeah. So like they're good agents.
Yeah.
It's just,
I know you're not going to send a brand new, never showed a house agent out there, but
investors I will.
Well,
like you guys,
sure. They know what they're doing anyways. Just open the door and let them do whatever. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So anywho, okay, we'll wrap this up. I appreciate it, Chris.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share with everybody?
No. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, thank you. We'll do it again. We'll do it again about this time next year. And we'll ask about your numbers.
Yeah.
See about your tracking.
I will have my numbers next year for you.
Sounds good.
Yeah, for
Perfect.
sure.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.